Well, hello, Janelle King here, and I am doing follow-up questions, or I'm hitting more questions that came from the Draw Forth the Book Inside of You series that we just did on Google Hangouts on air. So many questions, didn't get to cover them all. And I want to make sure I do all of your questions justice because they're so good. Oh my gosh, you guys have the best questions. So this one actually came up from several people, and it's touching on mindset and motivation, I think. So here's just two that came from folks. So one person was asking how to get organized so I don't lose focus, motivation, and don't move in circles. And another person is asking, what do you do when you feel a lack of motivation to continue writing? Well, as you know from the Draw Forth chat, it took a while for me to create this book. It took it took 9 months, let's say, for me to percolate on the ideas from the moment where I thought, oh, I have another book I need to write, to, oh crap, it's time to actually get writing that book or I'm never going to do it. So one of the things that helped with motivation was to consider the idea as a bit of a seed, let's say. And I needed time for that seed to grow and to like poke its head out over the earth. So that's my little seed idea. But at a certain point, that seed is going to wither and die unless I pay attention to it. And that's what happened in December, where I was like, crap. That's supposed to be an exclamation point. I totally messed that up. I was going to write this book. I forgot. So one of the things that motivated me, or that got me motivated, was realizing that that deadline that I had set for myself way back in February was coming up. And it was coming up in a hurry. The other thing that motivated me was I know myself. And I knew that this, you can feel it when it's a critical moment for yourself, where it's like, if I don't do this now, I am never going to do it. And I'm not saying that I'm like this for everything, because Lord knows I've been saying that every year about weight that I'm going to lose, or getting more active, or blah blah blah, all the things that I'm going to do it. For some reason, this one was different, and this one was like oh no, actually, you know what? This has to happen now, or the window's going to close. I'm not going to get it done. So there was an intrinsic motivation that was really happening to get me off of my butt and actually writing. And so there was this, I don't know, like this fire that really kind of drove me. That's a little fire. Fire. Got a fire under my butt, and I thought, okay, I have to go and write. So I was motivated by a looming deadline, which is really good. Looming deadline is good. But I also happened to have a friend by the name of Jerry, and he was writing a book. And Jerry would work at this coffee house called The Stats. And I contacted Jerry and was like, you know what, Jerry, I'm going to get my book done, and I know you're working on a book. And so let's just write. let's go write together, and we'll help each other get this thing done. And so by writing together, that helped. And there, do I spell it T-O-G-E-T-H-E-R? So by writing together, we were able to create this synergy and keep each other motivated and accountable. So motivated and accountable. Because if I showed up and he didn't show up, he knew he was going to hear about it. And if he showed up and I wasn't there, I knew I was going to hear about it. And there was just this really beautiful reinforcement thing that started to happen where we could, even though we were writing about completely different things, the fact that we were writing together helped us write better together and get more focused and more done. We would focus for short bursts of time, like 45 minutes up to 2 hours. And then we would take a break and get a soda or get a refill on our super big ass lattes. That's what SBA lattes stand for in the back of the book, by the way. But we would have these breaks that we would build into our our flow for the day, and I would show up and say, okay, today I am writing chapter 3. I'm writing the section on tools, and that's the place I have to start, so that's where I'm starting. And Jerry would say, okay, well, I'm working on this this chapter on what happens when the knights get back from storming the castle and they have to face the corrupt priest. Okay. So we would go and we would work, and there'd be this accountability, and we would focus because we literally were writing head to head at one table. And there's just something really nice and sweet. So if you can get an accountability buddy, or someone who is working on a similar project to yours, that helps tremendously with focus and motivation. So that was done. The book was done. That's what I thought. It really wasn't. So the next piece that really helped me for motivation was getting an editor. Because when I got an editor, I was no longer a writer, in quotes. I was an honest-to-goodness writer, because writers work with editors. Therefore, my book was something to take serious. So somehow, by building this team of support to make this book be as great as it could possibly be, that was our goal. That's what we talked about. And it didn't matter what the ego was, and you had somebody else working toward that goal with you, all of a sudden, you start making progress in ways that you didn't think you could. There is something about this flow of working together where I would sit down, I gave my manuscript to my editor, and that was a relief. I could back away, right? There's nothing else I can do right now. So I can let go of my focus. I can let go of my motivation because my editor is going to bring me back to it. So it gave me a little way to have a break. I can focus on other things. Elle, my editor, would read the book, make her notes, and we would schedule a meeting. And then, so we would have the meeting. I would sit down for half a day with this person, and we would go through all the notes that they came up with. That brought me back in. The fact that somebody else was bringing their time and their talent to my project helped me focus because I wasn't making myself focus anymore. I was focusing on our stuff together. Our book, even though it was my book, we were working on it together. So that really made it helpful for me to be able to sustain focus by passing it over from editor to me. I do my edits and revisions, hand it back to the editor. She reads and makes her feedback. We get together. I take it away. So it's not on me all the time, even though it's still my book. So having help in place and support in place really helps with the focus and the motivation. Although, I will say, there are times where it just went like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I would have like a little pity party and like, this book's never going to get done. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I can't think of how to fix this part. And at that point, one of the best things that I could do was hand it over to you guys, honestly. I remember reaching this one point in my writing. I was like, you know what? I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to say anymore. I can't see this book anymore. I feel like I'm getting lost. And if that's the case, I'm taking that as a cue that I need to step away from it and get some space, but I still want to like make some forward progress. So I put together a survey and just put it out on social media. I was like, hey, I'm curious about these questions. You guys fill out the survey and let me know what you're thinking about these things with regard to visual communication. And a bunch of people responded. So I could separate myself. You know, I could put the survey out into the world and, you know, people would respond to it. It was a Google survey, super easy, a Google form, and it created a spreadsheet of the answers. And then I, you know, after giving myself probably like 2 weeks away from it, I pulled up the responses and I had all of this stuff to read that didn't come from me. It was other people's insights and other people's takes on what's going on in visual communication and stuff like that. And the fabulous thing for that was by reading other people's perspectives and other people's thoughts on my questions that I had about my own book, that sparked my thinking in amazing ways. And that's when the book turned into, you know, went from, oh, well, it's about, you know, working visually and visual communication to, no, this is about hosting visual conversations. That's what I'm bringing to the table. And once I figured that out, I got super excited and super motivated because now there was something I was really, you know, I could see it. I could see where I was going. It all kind of came together for me because I allowed myself the permission and the opportunity to step away from what I was working on without letting it die by making myself accountable to other people through having that survey, through having an editor or a writing partner. And I think that's the trick, right? It's, you know, it's one thing to be like, oh, I've been working on this project and it feels really big and heavy and I'm never going to get it done, but it has to be me and I just feel like I'm like stuck under it and I'm just like getting crushed and I can't get out and I'm never going to finish it and it's all me by myself all the time. That's, you know, being smushed by the book. Well, that's a sucky place to be. You don't have to be there. You can pass that book over to other people. And whether it's your professional team, whether you are crowdsourcing just for, you know, like insights and support, they can help lift that book up off of you so you can, you know, actually stand up and be like, huh, what's going on? I don't know. I need to think. I need to process this stuff out. I need something new that can lead to, hey, here's something. Here's something. I've got questions about this. Here's something else. And you end up with these amazing insights that leave you feeling really focused, that's a heart, and motivated to take this thing to the finish. I think that is the main motivator right there, is when you can find the heart of the message that really connects with you, the thing that you can't not share with the world, then that's the thing that really motivates you. If you're writing a book because you think you're supposed to, okay. If you're writing a book because you cannot shut up about what your topic is and you have so much to say about it, and yeah, you might get sick and tired of yourself and of the topic, you know, time and again because you're getting so deep into it, but at the end of the day and at the bottom of your gut, there's that thing that's like, no, this is the thing. This is the thing I have to talk about. This is the thing I have to, you know, this is the thing. This is the way I get to touch people's lives. This is the way I get to touch people's lives. That's the thing that really drives my motivation. And so when the hosting visual conversations piece clicked together, like, oh, yeah, I have this deeper thing that I want to be able to share with people. I want to see that come to the world right away. That's when your book baby gets a life of its own, and you don't have to try as hard because that baby is coming whether you want it or not. because it's ready to come out into the world and it's going to make its way. So you better get that nursery ready, and you better do your Lamaze exercises, because you are going to be going into labor. That baby is coming out, whether you want it to or not. And that's the thing that tips when you get clear on that core message piece, that heart piece. That heart piece. Yeah, it's like a little heart. Heart. There we go. I knew I could do that. Anyway, that's what I have to say about motivation and staying focused. And when you feel like you have a lack of motivation to write, give yourself permission to do a little dance with your work. You're working with it, dance away, have it dance with another little partner, come back. But know why you're dancing with it in the first place, and that's the thing that's going to fuel you moving forward. So anyway, more I can say about that clearly, but I will stop for now. If you've got questions, you know where to find me, Janelle at JanelleKing.com, or you can always find me on Twitter, because I do love me some Twitter, at Janelle King. All right, take care, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.